Okay, so you're a B2B marketer and you're looking to generate leads via content marketing. And it makes sense because for lots of us B2B companies, our products and services are just too niche. They're too small of an audience, so we can't really rely on Google Ads and SEO for reliable lead generation. So what we do is we content market. We create lead magnets. We create webinars, we create ebooks, white papers, reports, you name it, and we try and get our prospects interested so that they will give us their email address, name, and hopefully phone number in exchange for reading or watching or attending one of those. So that's how we go about doing things online. Of course, B2B marketers that are targeting very niche areas, you may also do things like account-based marketing, you'll go networking, you'll do trade shows, etc. But if I'm talking specifically online, it's really things like LinkedIn advertising, some of this content in front of the right people and hoping that you grab their details out of LinkedIn into your database where your sales team might follow up with them, or you might nurture them with a series of emails until they're ready to talk sales. So that is the theory.
Why is this so hard?
But where does this all go wrong for us? And why do we find it so hard to generate leads off something like LinkedIn as B2B advertisers? It's actually not the technical side of things. It's not actually the content itself. I want to argue in this video and want to give you a solution for the lead magnet title. And that is how you're going to actually name or frame whatever it is that you're producing. Again, it could be a webinar, it could be a written piece. Whatever it is, if that title is not totally on point, it'll just sail by your prospects. They're being bombarded with content every single day. It has to be psychologically relevant. It has to make them really, really understand that it's for them, that they're going to get a discrete, huge benefit, and all they need to do is download this and all of their problems could be solved in one magic bullet. So if that sounds like it's quite interesting, then make sure to watch this video. And of course, if it's your first time, let me introduce myself. I'm Larry Koch. I'm the founder of The Brains, a digital marketing agency based out of London. Also the host of this wonderful channel where I try to cover everything to do with marketing automation, new tactics in lead generation, and B2B psychology. So it's the kind of stuff that won't really get covered in a marketing degree. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have you as a member here. Like the video, it really helps me out a lot, and I hope to see you down in the comments if you've got anything constructive to add. Right, so let's go into this simple title formulation for all of your lead magnets that's going to help you generate more leads however you're doing your content marketing. So I want to give you the 3 pieces one by one. Number 1 is specify the persona in the title. If you can actually mention by job title the person who you are wanting to download or to access the content, it's going to be very, very relevant for them. You don't want to just have something going out saying the 5 tips for a better e-commerce website. Ideally, you want to actually specify, is this for e-com business owners? Is this for e-com marketers? So that's what I'm talking about. If you can actually specify the person, they're going to see this as much more relevant, because how often do we see content coming up in our feeds that is specifically addressing our exact job title? If you can do that, you're already off to a good start. The second bit is to give it a discrete benefit or avoidance of failure in the title. So you have to say something like, how this insert job title can double or, reduce X percentage, by doing whatever the title is about. So you want to actually, in that second piece, talk about a tangible benefit, whether that's increased revenues, like customer retention, better hiring, whatever the thing is that ultimately your product or service leads to for the company, you want to specify that. So you specify who it is, specify exactly what they're going to get. And the third thing is you need to translate whatever content you're creating or thing that you're trying to push. It has to be translated into one secret, or what we like to call the secret. So you want the magic bullet that is going to lead to this huge benefit for this exact person. And ideally, you frame the secret benefit as something that they haven't understood before. So an example of this might be how this digital marketing manager doubled leads using this one Reddit upvoting bot. Something like that is like, it's super specific, like it's about Reddit and upvotes on Reddit. It's specified the marketing manager and it's specified the doubling of revenues. You can also do this in the negative. So I have an example from a client that I work with that is in the geospatial analytics sector. So they map parts of the earth to help people that own forests or dams or rivers or pipelines manage risk by being able to spot what's going on from space, because the areas are so vast. So there was a recent failure with a massive dam, and so we created a title for them that was the Edenville Dam Disaster, the one takeaway for damn operators. Now, as you can see, it was a disaster, this thing. Everyone in the industry knew about it. It was specifying the one takeaway. And to be even better, you could even say the one technical limitation that led to it. So even if your content itself is going to expand and it's going to talk about everything in the round, it's going to set the scene, it's going to interject how your company views it, and you're going to do all the great things in your content that make you come across as the expert. We're talking here about the title. You want the title to be as punchy as possible and to specify one thing. Now, when they actually download it, the content can, of course, have a preamble, have an introduction, set the scene, and then, obviously it has to mention the thing in the title, but it's kind of the secondary point. The first point is to get the attention of the audience and get them to download it. Your second problem is then keeping them interested with the content. But unless you've got people downloading it, it doesn't even matter how good the content is. So you really need to focus on that. Now, I'll leave you with sort of one more example, which I use all the time in my videos if you've watched any before, and that is retargeting.
Wait, I'm getting a deja vu.
So an old lead magnet we used to have back in the early days was called like the 2021 or the 2020 Guide to Retargeting. My audience is marketing managers, my personas are marketing managers, I figured they'd be interested in that. But a much better title using this formula would be how this marketing manager doubled online revenues using this one secret retargeting tool. Now, that is sort of like secretive, and as a marketing manager, you know what comes with doubling revenues. It's psychologically interesting to you because you're like, your KPIs, the way that you are compensated at work, your job security is all linked to you performing. So if I can show you a doubling of your current performance metrics using one secret thing that nobody else knows about, well, that to you seems like a silver bullet. And if you're struggling at work, you're definitely going to download that lead magnet. And then one of my biz dev people will send you a researched email to see how you're getting on with it, see if you want any other advice that we have, any other videos. And that's the way we like to lead into our sales when we do content marketing. So you can do this for absolute variety of industries, and I really invite you to just focus on that formula. I'm going to write it down in the description as well if you want it just clearly written out, and I'm going to even link to some extra examples. So hopefully that was useful. I hope you take it away and you use it to level everything you're doing up. As I said, you can even use this to title podcasts, to title webinars. Really, really be creative and just understand that your audience just is constantly bombarded with content. You're going to have to work very hard to reverse engineer exactly the problems they face at work and provide them the silver bullet that gets them from struggling to hero in as quick as possible. And if you like this video, I've got other videos on here that talk about B2B psychology that go hand in hand with this. So give those check those out. And if you're interested in lead generating with a whole foolproof system, then I've actually got a advanced principles of B2B psychology, a whole document that I've created with which was researched with other colleagues at the Brains. You can download that in the description link below as well. And that will give you the full B2B psychology thinking that we have as the Brains, and hopefully that's going to help you across your content and your titles and all the rest of it. Well, hope you like this video. Catch you again for the next one. Ciao for now.